72 hours ago, I was on top of the world. No, scratch that. I was about to leave it. I was the luckiest woman alive, handpicked for humanity's very first deep space research mission. I can still feel the firm grip of the commander's hand as we shook in mission control. The blinding flash of cameras capturing a moment that felt like the beginning of everything. My whole life was stretching out before me, an endless ribbon of possibilities. I was going to touch the stars. I was going to make history. What I didn't know, what I couldn't possibly have imagined, was that in just 3 days, I would become the only thing standing between Earth and total extinction. It all started with a signal, barely a whisper, really. Dr. Chun was the one who found it, buried deep within the cosmic background radiation. It wasn't random noise. It was a pattern, too precise, too mathematical to be natural. It was a message, and attached to that message were coordinates pointing to something lurking just outside the reach of our primary sensors. The excitement in the control room was electric. Command, after a tense debate, authorized a preliminary investigation. And me, I was the one they chose. When I suited up, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs, and floated out into that infinite, silent blackness toward the strange probe we'd detected. I was convinced I was about to make first contact. I thought I was about to change everything for humanity. I was right about the second part, just not in the way I expected. The probe was small, impossibly sleek, made of a material that seemed to drink the light around it. It was utterly alien. I reached out a gloved hand, my breath catching in my throat. The moment my fingertips made contact with its surface, everything shattered. It wasn't a physical shock, but a psychic one. Alien knowledge, a deluge of pure information, flooded my mind like a dam breaking. I saw visions of worlds I couldn't comprehend, cities that defied physics, stars burning in colors that shouldn't exist. I was given mathematics that our greatest minds couldn't dream of. And with it all came a warning, a terrible, soul-crushing warning that I understood far too late. The probe wasn't a greeting card. It wasn't a message of peace. It was a beacon. It was a dinner bell, and something very, very old and very hungry had just heard it ring. I barely had time to scream a warning back to the ship before it arrived. It didn't travel through space. It tore a hole in it. It came through folded reality like a nightmare made of light and shadow. It was vaguely humanoid, but all wrong. Its form constantly shifting, translucent and ethereal. It didn't bother with the airlock. It phased right through the ship's hull like the reinforced metal was nothing but smoke. I watched in absolute horror as it moved toward the bridge. I saw it consume my crewmates, one by one. It didn't touch them. Not physically. It just reached for them. They dissolved, breaking down into shimmering particles of light. Their consciousness, their memories, everything they were, absorbed into the entity's shifting form. It was collecting them, like a scientist gathering specimens. I heard them screaming, their voices echoing in my helmet comes and then just silence. And I ran. God help me. I ran, leaving behind the people I'd trained with for years, the people who had become my family. I scrambled through the corridors, the ship's emergency lights painting everything in a terrifying red glow. But even as I ran, the knowledge from the probe was churning in my mind, reordering my thoughts, giving me answers I didn't want. It told me what this thing was. A harvester, a collector of minds, an ancient being or machine sent to gather intelligent species from across the galaxy for purposes I still couldn't fully comprehend. It was a cosmic librarian, and we were the new books on its acquisition list. But the knowledge didn't just give me terror. It gave me a weapon. It told me how to communicate with it, how to speak its language, how to negotiate. It finally cornered me and the few remaining survivors in engineering. We were backed against the primary reactor core. Nowhere left to run. The harvester floated into the room, silent and immense, its presence sucking the very warmth from the air. My crewmates were frozen in fear, but I did the only thing I could. I stopped running. I turned around and walked toward it. I opened my mouth, and words that no human tongue should ever know spilled out. It was a language of pure concept, of raw mathematics and light. I felt it in my mind, the entity's surprise, its curiosity. I made it a deal, a bargain for our lives. I offered it information. The location of more mines to harvest. More species to catalog. I gave it the coordinates from the original signal. The location of the species that sent the probe in the first place. I sent it back to where it all began. I bought us time, with a final, silent appraisal. The entity turned and phased back through the hull, disappearing into the void as quickly as it came. The ship was silent, save for the ragged sobs of the few who were left. We were alive, but I was no longer the same person who had floated out to that probe. The knowledge it gave me is permanent. It's fused to my own consciousness, a part of me now. Sometimes, when the lights are low, my eyes still glow with a faint, alien light. I am changed forever, and when I look out the viewport at the night sky now, I don't see the beautiful, empty expanse I once did. I see what's really out there. I see the truth. Thousands of harvesters, moving silently through the void between stars, their paths like a vast, imbeceively web, and they're coming. They're all coming here. They're coming for all of us. The probe was just a scout. Earth is next on the list, but they made one mistake. They left a survivor. They left me with their knowledge, their language. I know how they think. I know how they operate, and buried deep within the flood of information they poured into my mind, I found something else. A flaw. A weakness. A way to fight back. They think we're just another species to be collected, another entry in their cosmic library. They're about to find out how wrong they are. They're coming, and I'll be ready. We will be ready. Thank you for watching. If you believe humanity is worth fighting for, make sure to subscribe and follow our journey. The real mission has just begun.
They're coming, and I'm the only one who knows how to stop them.